Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today's a little bit different because this really board game that I really liked. I played this game several times in real life, and then I ended up picking this up. It was one of those downloadable MSN games or whatever it was. I don't remember. I actually paid for the download and for the disc to make sure I could always, load it onto my computer if I ever lost my computer. And that's a good thing I did, because I've lost a couple of computers since I've bought this game. So luckily it still works. But anyways, this is like a video game version of Catan. It's the exact same rules. So if you've ever played the board game Catan, it's sort of like a Monopoly type of game. Kind of follows in a similar fashion where you roll the die and all that kind of crap. You got to build up your resources and stuff. So, well, anyways, I'm just gonna get going because just for fun. I just felt like playing this game right now, so might as well stream it while I'm playing and have some fun, chat with some people. I like to play with 3 players. 4 is too many, so let's just pick 3. Yeah, that's my name. Position 1, whatever. So you can put your difficulty on your players. Do you want them to be advanced, expert, or beginners? Advanced is fine. Personality, neutral. You can make them aggressive and all that stuff. I kind of like the neutral, so I can just stick with that. So let's start this game, shall we? So if you've ever played this before, you'll know what's going on. But if you haven't played this before, when you set up the Settlers of Catan, you kind of set it up to be random, where these are all kind of shuffled around. All the numbers on them all are random. So you kind of turn these little things upside down. You turn all the squares upside down. You randomize the board, essentially. Every time you play it, it plays a little bit different. Just going to say hey to Simon, who just jumped in on the chat. Simon Villamundo. So, everything kind of, it'll make sense as I start playing, if you haven't played this before. So, first you get to place your settlement. So, I'm going to, okay, let me just explain. This is like forest, this is like copper, brick, and, so in other words, wood, ore is what they call it, brick, and, what is that? Wool, I think. And then the numbers are the die rolls to generate that. So when you roll that specific number, you generate that if you have a settlement there. So you got to look at the numbers and be like, okay, what are the chances of rolling a 10 versus what are the chances of rolling a 6? And they kind of show that with the red to say, hey, the red will say, I think there's a higher chance of you rolling that. But then you also have to think, what resources do you want? Because you have to look here, down in the build area, and it'll show you what it takes, resources, to build these things. So you need roads, you need settlements, and then eventually you'll need cities. So I'm going to look around. It's been a while since I've actually played this. I can't remember. I know the strategy. Maybe I'll just start here. And then, so you can put down 1 settlement and 1 road to begin with. So I'm going to do that. That's probably not the best place to put it. Then the 2 opponents will throw their stuff. So it looks like we got Rex Warden and Green Lantern HD. Hey, Green Lantern made it in. Awesome. I know he's usually busy when I start streaming. I hear about it afterwards that he missed it. Okay, this isn't looking good for me right now. So when you're placing your settlements, you can't be too close to another person's settlement either. So I'm going to put mine here. I'm going to try and build my road up. So you can see I got brick, I got ore. So in the real life, you'd be getting these cards, like like a card game. I'm gonna roll my die. I got 5. So I got some wool, and then it tells you down in the bottom right corner here how much you have of your cards. So normally, if you're playing the real game, you'd obviously have your cards. You'd be looking at them. Here, this is my cards in hand. My opponents can't see these. And the good thing about this game is it'll light up if you can actually afford to build any of these things, which I have nothing. So then I just end my turn. Here's where you're kind of like Monopoly. In the beginning, you're kind of rolling the die and moving your pawn around. Okay, so what just happened there was every roll of 7, the robber will move, and you get to place the robber where I think it's on your spot. I can't remember, or you get to replace him. This is like some trading going on, which is cool. Just like Monopoly, you get to trade with the opponents. So he's going to give wood for he wants brick. So I could do that if I want to give him wood, which I don't have. Now he's asking for sheep, and then he'll give me brick. So I might be helping him, and I might be hurting him. So I don't know. I could say I want. Oh, so he's going to give 2 ore for 1 brick, because you need brick to start building. It's important to get some brick in the beginning there. Hey, look, we got Retro Now in the chat box. Awesome. Retro Now, the ultimate Transformer dude. How did Green Lantern get in here? I don't know. I think he just got in somehow. Snuck in. Snuck into the chat. So what's going on here? So, I mean, unfortunately, because I'm playing against 2 computer players, you kind of have to give a little bit of a time for each computer player to have their turn, and it doesn't always go as fast as you want it to go. Like in real life, when you roll the die, you don't get much, you don't have anything to do, you pass your turn. But because I'm playing computer players, it kind of gives a little bit of time in between, so it's a little bit of waiting sometimes. It can be a little boring sometimes, but alright, it's my turn. Roll, see what I get. 9. Ah, I got no resources. This could have been due to poor placement. Let's see here. Uh-oh, Retro Now is lagging. Let's see if that's my fault. I'm just gonna check something here. Could be my fault. Just as I say, it could be me. Luckily, this isn't a game that requires a lot of fast action, so lagging might not be as serious. But, so what do I need? I need road, and I need brick, wood and brick. So I still need wood. But I got nothing to trade for it, so I'm going to end my turn. Uh-oh, got nothing. Hold on, let's make sure. Just going to give it a little bit of a break here to make sure people catch up with the stream. I don't know what's going on. Watching the stream now. Let's go, come on. Am I back on? Let's see. Am I back? I think I'm back. I might be back. That might be good. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright. So whose turn is it? It's Matt's. Seem to be off to a slow start here. So he's gonna give wood, he wants ore. I'm gonna confirm that and see if he'll give thee that wood. I need wood! Did I get it? Ah, he traded with the opponent. Thought I was gonna get some wood there. Wasn't fast enough with my trading deals. Okay, Okay, I might have started off in a bad position because I'm not getting any rolls here. It's where you really have to pay attention to the numbers and look for the odds of those numbers coming up. You give ore, but he wants sheep. I don't need ore. What do I do with ore? I can't do anything with ore. I need to at least build a road. Let's see how my stream is doing. I think I'm back up to stream again. Could be my computer too, I don't know. My turn! 5. Okay, I got some more sheepy. So what I can do... Well, let's try a trade. So I can do... I'm gonna give... I want wood. And I'm going to... give ore. So now I'm going to sit here and see if anybody actually wants to trade me their wood for ore. Okay, so he's going to give wheat. What do I do with wheat? I don't need wheat. I was waiting for Retro now to make a joke about wood. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. Just because I'm waiting for wood. This is actually a slow start of this game. Oh no. Everybody's getting stuff. Everybody's getting wood with me. Doesn't sound good, does it? I sound like a guy who's he wants brick. What? So they're gonna be they're trading. He's gonna give him wool for some ore. And that just happened. Okay. I need to get some good rolls going on. Everybody wants to like give away their ore because it's kind of useless in the beginning of the game. I'm not going to give away my precious bricks. Wow. Okay, he's going to give wood. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that because I think I have a high chance of getting... Whoa. So Simon Belmondo is saying, I'm sorry I'm very slow with this, but what the hell is going on? So, I don't know if you're familiar with the board game, The Settlers of Catan. No, I'm not giving wood Retro now. But if you're not familiar with The Settlers of Catan, it's sort of, think about almost like Monopoly, but you could shift around the board. And instead of buying properties, you're buying sections of land, or you're putting your houses on sections of land that generate resources. So if you are on a land that generates wool, or the sheep icon, whenever you roll the die, you generate that kind of sheep. And so then you get these cards, which is what you see on the screen there, these cards. And then you use those to buy resources, to buy, you know, you use the couple of sheep or whatever to build roads, houses, buildings, and as you do that, you build up points. And the person who, I think it's when you get to level, you get 7 points, you win the game. So the more roads, the more houses, the more everything you build, the more points you get, then eventually you win. Or you lose. And then, much like Monopoly, there's a lot of trading going on. So I have all my cards, my opponents have their cards, and we can trade each other. And I can say, I'll give you this if you get that. This involves more thought than I have on a Monday night. Yeah, this is probably why I'm losing so bad too. Just started and I'm already like behind. 3, 4, 5. So I got more. Oh, another thing you can do is when you get enough cards, you can actually trade them in for one thing that you really need. So if I get, say, 5 or 6 sheep, I can trade in 4 sheep to get 1 card of something I really need. Right now I need wood. I keep saying wood. I'm going to end my turn, because I don't think I'm getting anywhere right now. Well, I got some wheat. And again, it says here under the build tab what you need to build. So if you want to build a road, you need the wood and the brick, which makes sense. You build roads out of bricks and wood and stuff. And then for the settlement, you need some wood, brick, wheat, and wool, sheep, whatever, to build a settlement, which is a house. Alright, Retro Now, thanks for popping in. Catch you on the flip side. Nobody says that anymore. Give wheat, want wood. You ain't having my wood. And like I said, this is just a little bit of a change of pace than what I would normally be streaming, you know. Kind of taking a break from the Zelda series, you know. Playing too much Zelda lately, just need to relax a bit. 12. So Matt got that, but alright, so I can get a development card. Now what that is it's kind of a random card that can give you something good or could affect the opponent. So let's do it. So I bought a development, I got a soldier. So I can move the robber. This card cannot be played on a turn it was built. So what that means is the robber is this black token guy. When he's there on a property that you have a settlement on, see I'm right here, if that gets rolled I won't get anything, which kind of sucks. But also when someone rolls a 7, you move the robber to wherever you want, and then he steals a card from one of the opponents. Kind of neat, and it can really get nasty when you're playing with friends. You can start stealing their stuff. Look at that, I have enough right now in my hand. I can actually build another road, which I've been really hurting on doing. Really need to build that road. And then you can score extra points by having the longest road. If you build a long road that connects all together, the longest road, you get extra points for that. And I think a few other things. There's some of the cards, the development cards, actually give you extra points. So he's going to give sheep and he wants brick. No. I don't need sheep. Once you build a settlement, then your next thing is to build a city as well. And the city just kind of overrides the settlement, kind of in real life, you know, you build your city over top of a little tiny settlement thing. And then, of course, you're getting 2 points instead of 1. So I had to trade. Let's see what's going on in this. So these lines are the roads. That's what those are. And the little tiny house thing is a settlement. Oh, 5. I got another sheep. Okay, so I can build a road again. Yay. I'm gonna build it right. I have to think about this. Do I want to? I'm gonna build it right there. So now I can actually build another settlement because it's 2 roads away. But then I need to get all these things to build a settlement, so... Not looking good for me, man. Not looking good. This is a good game to be playing after going through that horrible windstorm we had here. I mean, I can't complain, we don't get windstorms all the time, but we definitely aren't used to it when they do happen. And the other day we actually had a pretty horrible windstorm where things were flying around. My fence was like in the wind. Shingles were flying off my roof. The whole street just was a mess. Power outages everywhere. It was crazy. We had like 100-kilometer-per-hour winds. We don't normally get that in my part of southern Ontario, so. This is pretty much what's happening now, where everybody's starting to rebuild. Now I know I can't complain because there's a lot of, oh, he just built a, he's already built a city. Okay, so I just rolled the 7, which means I get to move the robber. I'm going to take him away from my settlement. And I'm going to put him here. I'm going to hinder him. And I'm going to steal a card. Let's see what I steal. Oh, wheat. Okay, let's build get another development. Oh, okay, so this just gives me a victory point. So all this does is it just gives me 1 point, which is higher than I was before. And if you look over on the summary area on the right in the middle there, where my name is, you'll see that I have 2 plus 1, which means I have 3 points. Matt has 3 and Paige has 4, which means Paige is winning so far. And I'm still falling behind. I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. I should have saved up to get a house. This is not going well in my favor right now. So you give or he wants wheat. I don't have wheat, so I can't help him there. So what's happening is it's during the trade, only the turn player can propose the trade. Simon's asking who's left in the chat. It's a good question. How many people are actually on this? See if I can click out of here and see if there's... You know, I had some disturbances early. Alright. Probably some people had to leave. Whatever. Just gonna play and have some fun. Okay, so I got 3 ore and 2 sheep. Oh, Rex Warden's saying he's here, he just feels awful. That's not good. Got a flu or something? You sick or tired? I don't know what's going on, but a lot of people I've been noticing have been sick or going into hospitals. A lot of friends on Facebook and Twitter that I talk to a lot, and you know, fellow YouTubers and stuff. I've just been seeing a lot of people are just sick nowadays. I don't know what's going on. No, just an awful job. Oh no. That sucks. I think we all know the sting of that. Having an awful job. Not doing too good here. Intern. I think it was my beginning development. I put my placements in really bad spots. Actually, I just realized I put my placement on the desert, which was stupid. The desert doesn't give you anything. I just handicapped myself from the beginning. Ugh. As much as this game does rely on luck, it does have a lot to do with how you set up the game. It's gonna give ore. He wants wood. I don't have wood. No wood to spare. Got lots of ore. He's gonna give sheep now. That's usually what they do. When the player needs something, they start offering what they have. abundance of for what they need, and hope that some player actually wants that. Just like in real life when you're trading with people, you know. That went nowhere. Now, I have 4 ore, and I believe I can trade those in for one thing that I need, but I think right now I need a bunch of things, so it's not really going to make a difference. Oh yeah, there was one thing I also forgot to mention. That when someone rolls 7 and they it's the robber, if a player has, I think, more than 7 cards in their hand, you have to like discard a certain number of them. It kind of sucks because when you get late into the game, when you start hoarding cards, you could lose a lot of them from the robber alone. It's really damper your plans. So far, I think Paige is winning here. Paige has 5 points and 2 cities. I believe also with the city, if you roll the number that the city's sitting on, they get double the amount of resources too. So it really, really works in their favor. Let's see. So I need wood, which I have 1. I don't have brick. I don't have wheat. I do have sheep. Shoot. So I need the brick, wheat. What do I do? End turn. And I've played games like these several times, where just horrible placement from the very beginning, and you just sit through the whole game not going anywhere. It really sucks, because you never get the rolls, you never, even when you do, you get in the wrong materials, you can never advance. So you really have to think on that opening. Give wood, he wants brick. I don't have either one of those. You really have to think when you set up where the right place to go is. And then if you look on the outskirts of the... he's going to give 2 woods. He's getting desperate. And if you look out on the outskirts on the water, if you occupy these areas, your trading changes. Simon Belmondo is saying that he played a strange game for the first time, Space Shuttle on NES. What a strange game. I've never heard of that. Space Shuttle on NES? I have Space Shuttle on Atari 2600. And I know it was on 5200 as well. Never heard of it on NES. Wow, losing badly. All Paige needs is 2 more points and they win. So that means nobody's going to trade with Paige right now because Paige has the advantage. Just going to wait. Brick. 2 wood. No. Not gonna help you. You're too dangerously close to winning. Looks like they bought a development card. So you can see also in the status up the top here. And it tells you what happened if you missed it. So Paige placed a new road, Paige bought a development card. So Paige has a lot of cards that they're using and getting places with. So it looks like The NES Space Shuttle was done by the same group who's made the Atari 2600 version. That's interesting. Oh, look, I got brick. I'm still losing, but I got brick. The thing that was interesting with the Space Shuttle for Atari is it was like one of those unique simulator games where actually trying to simulate what happens when the Space Shuttle takes off. I actually ended up picking up that cartridge a while ago at a flea market. I think I paid $10. I think I overpaid for it. Could be wrong. I know it's a little bit more rare of a title, but you definitely don't see one in every flea market for cheap. Someone just moved the robber. I think I'm gonna have to use my soldier. Oh no. I think it's 7. Or is it 10 now? Oh my god. My mind is just dead. Maybe it's 10 you have to get to. Anyways, we'll find out. Alright, Green Lantern's gotta go. Heading home. Well, that's a good place to go. Go home, relax. Get something to drink. Put your feet up. Catch you on the replays. I know Green Lantern wanted to make it on my last stream when I was doing my Zelda redo. If you watched my my last Zelda 2 stream, I had to kind of go and do over what I already previously did. I lost my save, and I was trying to figure out what could have happened there. I was like, you know, racking my brain. Why did my save not work? But then I kind of remembered that I did have a problem with my computer, and I had to do one of those restores where I actually like had to roll back, and I noticed I lost a few things when I did that. Possibly that's what happened. I lost my save, even though you're not supposed to lose your files. But I think when I reverted back to the last save. So I think that's probably what happened. Well, let's match. Confirm. I'm gonna get 3 wood out of this. I don't know if he's gonna win the game because of this, or she, or whatever Paige is. But I just got 3 wood, so maybe I can get somewhere if this person doesn't win from me giving them that one resource. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe it is 10. Okay, it's 10. Sorry, in the beginning I thought it was 7. My mistake. Let's see here. Alright, I still need... Oh no. Okay, so this is a problem. I'm really screwed now. So, Paige built a house here in this section where my road is, which means I can't build a house there. And kind of screwed me. I can't go this way either. Yeah, I'm just really toast. Ugh. Okay. So I'm going to be forced to build a road here. And then I'll have to build a road here. Nuts. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if someone wants a sheep and will give me wheat. Wait, no, I want wheat. I'm gonna give sheep. That's it. Oh. Although this might be dumb. I might be handing over the kingdom to this Paige person. But now I can actually build a settlement. Because I'm going to trade. Port trade. 4 ore for 1 brick. This might be stupid, but hey, whatever. Finally buy a settlement. how many turns? Rex is saying he barely recalls Space Shuttle 2600 because after I beat it a couple of times I had no desire to play it again. It's like when you learn to play tic-tac-toe. Although I never really looked at Space Shuttle as being a game. It's more of a simulation, in my opinion. It's like a simulator. It's like... And it's kind of interesting, like the 2600 version of Space Shuttle came with some kind of overlay, cardboard overlay thing. You would actually put it on top of your old Atari wood grain. I believe the 6 switch, I don't know, I had the cutouts and all that stuff, and it told you what the switches did. Because it actually utilized all the different switches. The A-B switches, difficulty switches, and all that stuff to actually play the game. Or simulation. And so you can play it on like basic mode where you really don't do much. It's like the computer does most of the work. But then you can actually switch it to doing the more difficult mode, and you're actually controlling the shuttle as it takes off. I actually saw some documentary thing on YouTube where the programmer was talking about, you know, how he wanted to program the game to simulate what it's like when you're in a shuttle going into space, and that's kind of ambitious for an Atari game, I would say. Actually trying to simulate space travel. Uh-oh. Man, I'm just not doing well. Tomcat did that too. The only controls it didn't use were the black and white color and power, of course. Well, yeah. I don't think they could override the power button. I thought that was neat. I mean, there's a few games like that on the Atari 2600 where it uses the switches while you're playing, like Ghostbusters, for instance. To drop the bait, you have to flick the difficulty switch on, I think it's the right side, or is it the left? One of the sides, you have to switch it. Also, at the beginning of the game, in Ghostbusters, when you pick your equipment, to start the game, you have to flick one of the difficulty switches. And I remember when I first bought the game, I didn't know I had to do that, and I couldn't get out of the selection mode. It was kind of funny. I had to run upstairs and Google it. Go on Atari Age and look it up. It was really silly. Like, why can't I start the game? What's going on? And I realized, oh. Uh-oh. Page is at 8. And they bought a road, too. Page is taking over. Let's see what's happening. I got ore. Can I build something? I can build a road. Now I can build a road here and here, put a settlement here. So my problem was building on the desert. That was definitely a problem. Oh, look at that. Billy O just jumped into the chat. Did you get the commander level on Space Shuttle? There's a commander level? What does that mean? What do I want to do here? Well, if I build here, I can get 2 for 1. That means I could trade 2 sheep to get whatever I want. Let's just go that way and hope that. Oh, I've taken the longest road. That's awesome. I didn't realize that. Got the longest continuous road. That just boosted me up a couple of points. Still in the falling behind. Let's play a soldier too. This is going to move the robber. I don't know, where do I want to move him? 3. How often is 3 or 11? How about here? Because 4 can come up with a 3 and a 1, or a 2 and a 2. Who do I want to rob from? Well, I want to hinder the green page person. So I just stole the brick out of their hand. So that can hinder them. Also, it takes the robber away from my property. What? Okay. I'm just gonna wait a little bit here. Billy O's saying, Settlers of Catan, I've never played this one. So I guess you've never played the board game either. So this is mainly started as a board game, and of course it adapted into a video game. I believe there's also an app on your iPhone you can download too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So Paige is at 9 points. One more point. Paige wins. You're pretty much just buying up property and building up your resources. And first person to get to 10 points wins. That's pretty much what it is. A little bit of waiting as you know, each computer player needs to have a little bit of time in their turn, so it's a little bit of waiting time. But I started off very poorly because I screwed up right away. I put my first development here, which was not bad. But I put my second one here, not realizing I was putting it on the desert. So these numbers, when you roll that number, or any player for that matter, rolls that number, if your property is there, you get a resource of that resource. But when you're on the desert, you get nothing. So the desert you got to avoid. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm playing the computer. Billy was asking if I'm playing. Yeah, so there's two computer players, Matt and Paige. So I'm just playing the computer players right now. Okay, what am I gonna do? Don't have enough to build anything. My card does nothing. Okay. End my turn, but I think I'm gonna lose pretty soon because all Paige has to do is get one more point, pretty much build one more settlement, and they win. Matt took my longest road. So now I'm down a few points again. I'm so poor in this game. The longest road is if you have many consecutive roads together, more than any other player, you get the longest road. I think it's 2 more than the longest road. I can't remember. You have to have 2 extra beyond the longest road of either player. It's funny, at this point, or this stage in the game, trading becomes tricky because you could be giving your opponent the one card they need to win the game. You never know. As starving as you are for cards yourself, if you give your opponent the card they need, right now I'm going to see what happens when I give him a sheep for 2 wood. He might need that sheep to build a settlement and then get up to 9 points, and who knows. It's Paige's turn. 3. Oh, jeez. Look at that. Paige just got 4 sheep. They can pretty much trade that for any card they need. Now, I didn't check... I don't know if Paige is stuck. They might not be able to build right now. Paige might be in a little bit of a problem. Paige looks like he's going to have to build a couple more roads before he can lay down one more settlement. So depending on what Paige has in his hand. So that's the thing, you can't tell what your opponents have, right? they just have cards in their hand. You can't see their cards. You don't know what they're missing. And he could be missing a couple of vital pieces of, you know, brick or whatever. That being said, he can trade in for or whatever of a certain thing. This board game, if you haven't played this before, you should look in if you like playing board games, especially if you like playing things like Monopoly. This is a really fun game. I mean, it could be a little slow at times, same with Monopoly, and it does require a lot of trading. So when you're playing, I would suggest playing with like 3 or 4 people. It's just one of these games, you all just kind of sit around your table and you play it for a little while. I remember bringing this on vacation. We went on vacation with my parents, actually, and we were all playing this game, you know, just sitting around drinking and playing at nighttime in Cuba. It was kind of fun. Oh, so now he's trading. So he might be trading for the one card he needs to win the game, or he needs to build roads. Or she. There's also expansion modules. There's lots of expansion modules to change the game, expand on the game. There's a card game version of it. Okay, there he goes. He's building his roads. He's going to build another road. And I like how this game kind of incorporates both skill and luck. It's one thing that changes this game from, say, typical Monopoly, where Monopoly is majority luck of the roll. This game, it requires luck, but it also requires strategy. I mean, the only thing with Monopoly that requires strategy is when you actually try and trade with players. Okay, so he just needs to build a settlement and he wins. Which means it's over. And that's probably going to do it for him. Oh well. I don't have enough to buy much, so I'm just gonna build another road. Yay! Build another road. And my turn. I'll be surprised if Paige doesn't win on this next turn. So really what's happening at this stage, it's like, you know, just the trading stage. People have more cards. We didn't get a lot of robbers. Oftentimes when I play this game, I see the robber comes up a lot. Because, you know, rolling the 7. Lots of times, usually you end up rolling 7s, but it didn't seem to happen a lot in this game. Man, both of them are at 9 points, I'm at 4. That's pathetic. Just goes to show how the early setup makes a lot of difference. Just build your settlement and win. We all know you're gonna win. Come on, let's do it. I'll be shocked if this goes beyond. I mean, it just could possibly happen that they just can't buy that one item that they need to build their settlement, but or the computer's playing dumb. Of course, nobody's going to trade with them because if they're hurt or whatever, people trade. You give them the upper hand, and they're going to win. cards does Paige have? Oh, there we go. Here comes the trade. 4 wheat for wood. And they're going to build a settlement and win. There it is. And Paige wins. And Matt is second. Came close. And I'm on the piss poor end of things at 3. This is probably the worst game I've ever played. Of course, when I'm streaming, that's when I get the worst game ever. Julio's like, can anything catastrophic happen? Like getting dysentery. No, this is not the Oregon Trail. This is more like a simple board game. More like the Monopoly board games. That's all it is. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I would suggest trying it out. If you, I don't know if you can still get this game or download it for computers. I downloaded this a long time ago. I don't remember what it was though. What was it? I think it told me in the beginning when I booted it up. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, I know there's a smartphone app for it. And credits. Castle Hill Studios. Yeah, there's a tutorial and all that stuff. It gives you if you want to learn how to play it. And I mean, it's great. It's a fun game. It's especially when you got computer players. You don't have to worry about. It's one of the things with board games. If you don't have people to play with, they're kind of pointless, right? Useless. So playing them on a computer kind of gives you those opponents that you don't always have in real life. And if you're bored, you can just pick it up. It's fun. It's a fun game. I have the I have this in like the real one, and I also have Settlers of Catan. It's like a what is it? It's like a USA or something like that. It's a different variant of it. It's kind of different. It's more to it, a lot more to it. I started reading the rules and just haven't had time to actually figure it out and play it yet. But it's one of the expansions. They also have a kids version of it too, so your kids can learn how to play it. The card game's okay. It's a little bit different. You actually put the cards on the table. And, I mean, it's not as fun. It's different. Seems kind of more random. Yeah, but this was fun, anyways. Thanks for coming out. This was just a spur of the moment kind of stream. I just felt like playing some Settlers of Catan, and I'm like, I might as well stream it. Have a little bit of chat going on there. Thanks for everybody joining in. We had Billy O, we had Simon Belmondo, we had Rex Warden, Green Lantern HG, we even had Retro Now jump in there for a little while. And who else jumped in? I think I got everybody. But yeah, just a little fun, just to have some, do something a little bit different than my Zelda playing for a bit. Not that I'm going to stop. I mean, maybe on Wednesday I'll go back into Zelda 2 again. I'm almost completed it. I think I'm near the end. I think I just got to get through that one little mountain area, get to the last palace, and who knows if I'll be able to do that. Thanks, guys. But yeah, it was fun, and I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and haven't played it in a while, so it was fun. Anyways, I'm going to be cutting off the chat. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Hopefully I inspired you to try and pick up the game. Give it a shot. If you like board games, I would suggest it. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, talk to you later.